And good morning, everyone. Welcome to This Day.
Good morning. It is Thursday, April 25th, and today is National DNA Day.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and we're going to tell you a little bit about your DNA and some really cool things that you can figure out what your DNA is all about.
Yeah, we've done that, and it's really kind of neat to do.
It is.
Yes. All right, on our show today, Tim Boy will be here. He is, of course, our security director, going to give us a security update. Also, Leslie Gabola from Adapt to It will be here. We'll get the latest headlines from Erica Ritchie. And today we also have Anna Shu on, and she is with the Golden Girls Dance Troupe and going to tell us about, well, one event isn't till the end of June, but she's just going to talk about their group in general as well.
Yes, and today we have one meeting, which is the GRF Agenda Prep meeting, and that will be in the Willow Room at 9:30 in the morning. Okay, so National DNA Day. What does that mean? Well, the science journal Nature published a short letter written by James Watson and Francis Crick on April 25th, announcing their discovery of the structure of DNA. Fast forward to 2003, and the Human Genome Project, whose goal was to map the nucleoids contained in human DNA, was declared complete on the same day. So Francis Crick and James Watson, also along with both the Senate and the House of Representatives, declared that they would celebrate this DNA Day one time a year as a one-time celebration. Now, each year on National DNA Day, students, teachers, and the public are encouraged to learn more about genetics and genomics. Now, what's nice is that there are many systems out there and kits that you can buy, such as Ancestry.com, 23andMe, and others that collect your saliva and send you back your DNA, making up offerings like glimpses into your health, wellness, ancestry, carrier status, and more. So for instance, for your health, you can find out what maybe you're going to have diabetes type 2 and other age-related things. Plus wellness, you can learn about lactose intolerance, sleep movement, and muscle composition. Ancestry, you can learn about your family DNA and also Neanderthal ancestry. You can learn carrier statuses of certain types of diseases that you could potentially get, and also traits, whether or not you have morning motion sickness, hair type, and fears, and more. So it can tell you a lot of different things. And as Ken told me, he said that Ancestry.com is having a $30 off right now, so you guys can check out your DNA for less. And Ken, you said you did 23andMe, right?
Yes, we did do 23andMe, and both my wife did it. We did the 23andMe health one, and there's our report right there. There's my report. And by the way, you can link to other people's reports. That is, they invite you, so family stuff, and tells you everything about it. I mean, it's incredibly detailed, and they add things all the time. We also did one for our dog. It's not 23andMe doesn't do it, it's a different company. But we weren't sure what kind of dog we had because we got him when he was 4 years old, and he's a full purebred Cocker Spaniel. So there you go. It is really cool. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, 23andMe, by the way, is $69, $30 off right now. So that's 20, or excuse me, I'm sorry, Ancestry DNA, normally $99, is now $69.
There you go.
So there you go. That's, they all have sales different times of the year. Here we go for the weather. I'm going to give you a sale on the weather. I'm going to give you free sunshine today. And we got that morning fog, but that's been what we've been having. And you know, it's interesting. It is very, very much like June. We're getting that June morning gloom and then give way to just absolutely beautiful days. As we get to Sunday, a little bit more clouds out there. And right now it's looking like a 20% chance of Monday morning rain. That still is kind of dancing around. It could be overnight Monday. It might be Monday, 8, 9 o'clock, but it's not going to be much at all. But it is still in the forecast. So on Monday, that's what we have. Looking around Orange County today, temperatures are pretty much what we had yesterday just about everywhere. And do want to tell you, I don't know if anyone here is heading out to Stagecoach, which is out in India, where they just a week or so ago had Coachella as well. It's the same venue. It's going to be very hot out there. I mean, yeah, look at what we got. They are looking at this weekend, hovering right around 100 degrees. So 100 today, and they're going to stay right around that for the weekend. So for any of you who may be heading out for that for I don't think probably a lot of you are, but if you're big country music fans, it's going to be warm out there. But as we get to the weekend, things will be a little bit cooler, as I said, but still, it's going to be great. Even looking ahead next week, we're going to stay in the mid-70s. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
At Freedom Village Assisted Living, we provide loving care and support when your loved one needs it most. We believe in laughing more and caring more. Dining will be an experience, not just a meal. We offer opportunities to create new memories. Your family will feel like they're a part of our family as we work toward creating an extraordinary difference in lives worth living. To schedule a tour and complimentary lunch and for more information, please call us at 949-340-8108 or visit our website, freedomvillage.org.
One of the more common violations that we see in the village is stop sign violations. Now, the section is based on the California Vehicle Code, which requires drivers to stop behind the limit line. Now, as you can imagine, we commonly hear about the California stop, which really isn't a stop at all, but a slow or a roll. And that's one of the things that we'd like to educate our members of, to come to that stop sign, stop behind the limit line, pause briefly before moving through the intersection.
Yeah. We take videos, the traffic security officers take videos for the traffic sessions when the people come before us. And it's absolutely amazing. If I might indicate, the stop sign is right here. People will physically stop at this particular area and then drive through. However, there's a white limit line right ahead of us that you must stop at. The rule says you must stop at that limit line. However, there are cases where there is no limit line available, but you must still stop, look both ways, then proceed. And these are the things we explain to people. And it's very, very well taken, believe it or not. People will actually thank us for the information which they did not understand. And a lot of times they'll just roll right on through there. I've had them go through at 10, 15 miles an hour, not even think about hesitating.
So in this example, we have one of our own actors, a member of the security division, actually approaching the limit line. And you'll see, possibly in a little bit of a rush, what have you, he slows, but then he zips right through the stop sign. And that is something that we're trying to educate our folks on to. Just, again, take that few extra seconds, come to a full stop before moving forward.
I'm Wendy Miller, your Smiley Realtor with RE/MAX and your Laguna Woods real estate specialist. I'm here today with the first of my 7 home selling tips for seniors. Some seniors prefer to rely on the real estate agent who has sold the most properties in their neighborhood. Others seek the most often recommended from family and friends. The right professional will ask questions about your future goals. He or she will help you decide upon a realistic listing price and answer all of your questions promptly before asking you to sign a listing agreement. Give me a call and I will help you make the right move.
The opioid epidemic is affecting countless lives, including young adults. Did you know approximately 45% of opioid prescriptions to adolescents are made by dentists, often after wisdom teeth removal? These drugs carry risks, but you can help reduce your risk or the risk for a loved one. If prescribed an opioid, ask your dentist to consider limiting prescriptions to 3 days, using over-the-counter pain relievers, and properly disposing of unused medications. For more information, go to shatterproof.org. This has been a message from Shatterproof, United Healthcare, and this station.
Welcome back. Tim Moy, our Chief of Security, is here to tell us about the gates that are now open and also some other issues that we wanted to make you aware of. Thank you for being with us again.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
All right, so 2 and 8 are now open.
They are. I think it's going pretty well.
Okay.
You know, I think just like with 5 and 6, when those first opened up, we had a few glitches we had to work through. Same thing at 2 and 8. You know, the first few days are always a little rocky, but since then things have been running pretty smooth there. Okay. I think early on, gate 2, first of all, is a short entry. And so with Paseo de Valencia right there, the short driveway, if vehicles get stacked up, we got to make sure that we're moving them through quickly. And one of the issues we've had where the residents, without an RFID, they go through that resident lane and expecting to just have the ambassador pop that gate arm open. That resident lane is only for vehicles with RFIDs.
Okay.
So if you don't have an RFID, you've got to use the guest lane.
Okay.
So we would prefer our residents to go down, get that RFID so that they can just zip on through the resident lane.
Okay, let's remind everybody what an RFID is.
Yeah, that's a radio frequency identification decal.
So is it just something that goes on the windshield?
It is, and not on the windshield.
Okay.
It's on the headlight.
Oh, all right.
So there's two decals. You have that GRF decal that's on your windshield.
Okay.
And that's so we can identify that your vehicle is registered, you're a member here, you live in the village. And that RFID decal, it's that transparent, small, it's about 3 inches long. It goes on your headlight, and that's what triggers the gate arm to open up.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the retrofitting that you did was the
Right. So we did
RFID
that whole
sensors.
rollout. Boy, was that about 2 years ago?
Right.
And I think we had about 10,000 vehicles, registered vehicles, which was great. Now we've got, I think around 17,000, just over 17,000 vehicles in the community. However, only 80% of those have RFIDs. So we still need that about 20% more to come in and get their RFIDs.
Right. So I'm imagining what's happening is when they go through the resident one and it's not opening, then what happens? Does the guard have to come out and speak to them?
Right. Yeah. So there is a little bit of a safety issue as well. You know, we try to get them to roll down their window and just remind them, hey, go pick up an RFID. You have to have one. There have been a few that do have their RFIDs and it's not working.
Okay.
So you know, when we did the initial rollout, we brought in some temps and a lot of data entry. So there were a few instances where we just enter the wrong numbers. So we get that information, we check it, and if need be, we have the person come in and we just reapply another RFID. But that's far and few between for the most part.
Sometimes those things can be pretty sensitive. Like if your car is dirty, then the sensor
Right.
may not work. So make sure
Yeah.
you keep your car clean.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And depending on where it's placed on your vehicle, how high your vehicle sits, some vehicles, as the driver's approach, will trigger the gate 10 feet away. Others, you have to be 3 to 5 feet away. So as you approach, just slow down, give the reader an opportunity to pick up on that RFID, and then it'll pop it open.
Right, because I have known that where I live, the same kind of thing is if you go too fast, it doesn't read. You have to back up and keep trying. And it does that. So for those who don't have an RFID, what are some things they need to do?
Right. Well, we recommend they go into resident services. You can park in the back. There's a parking space right by the front door reserved for RFID. You go in there. Now there is a $25 fee for those RFIDs.
Initially.
And initially, right. And so when we had the rollout a few years ago, we just offered it for free. But there is a cost. They are somewhat expensive. Yeah. And you know, it is what it is. If you want the efficiency to just be able to run through that lane, there is a small cost to it.
Okay.
So I was out there the other day at Gate 2, and I noticed some residents were going through the guest lane, even though they were members here. I asked them, hey, you just go pick one up. You know, you can go through that other lane. You don't have to wait with guests and visitors. I said, well, we're not going to pay. I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
Well, okay, but at least they're going through the guest lane.
Right.
And they're not holding up the resident lane.
Right.
So if you don't want to purchase that RFID, just make sure you're using the guest lane. And we'll do our best to keep the traffic flowing. Okay. And see how it goes.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you got 2 and 8 open now.
Right.
So now let's talk about the construction that's going on gates 3 and 7.
Right, yes. So first of all, I want to commend a few people. Ernesto Munoz and his team, Steve Warmbear as a project manager, doing a great job on that. The rain is behind us now. They're moving along very quickly. I believe they closed gates 3 and 7 April 8th. Okay. Looking at 4 to 6 weeks for completion of that. And of course, we've got other areas opened up, alternate routes for our residents to take. But there is a little issue coming up with Gate 7 here shortly. I want to make you aware of. And make at least our residents aware.
Yeah, we'll definitely let everybody know how that's going to work.
But it has to do with golf cart access here, and that's coming up on May 2nd and 3rd. They have to slurry Gate 7. Now, if you know Gate 7, That's one of the primary routes for our golf cart owners. If they're golfing, they come across, they go behind Clubhouse 7. There's a little pathway, takes them right up to gate 7, and then they've got access to that side of the community.
Okay.
Problem is they're going to be slurring those roadways, and that's going to be shut down. So for 2 days,
Okay.
they're going to have to go on Moulton to Santa Maria and enter gate 8. I think we have the map up. I
Oh
could-
yeah, there is a map. Yeah,
Right.
so it's kind of hard to see. Okay, so they're going to have to go on to Moulton.
On Moulton, so drive northbound on Moulton, if you look at the map of the blue there, and then you turn westbound on Santa Maria,
Okay.
and then you'll see the gate 8 entrance. It's only for 2 days.
Oh yeah, okay.
And we'll have, we're going to send some maps out and some directions here with the blast on Friday, which reminds me, can I do a quick plug?
Of course you can.
All right, very good, thank you. Hey, one of the issues that we have is trying to reach all our members. And we use the blast to send out important information.
Right.
But if we don't have your contact information, we don't have any way of getting a hold of you, especially in the event of an emergency. We
Right.
want to be able to text, send you a message on your phone or on your computer. And if you have not signed up, if our residents have not signed up, we're just going to encourage you to pick up this Code Red emergency form. You can pick them up right downstairs in the community center at the front desk. Fill it out, turn it in. We'll update all your information. You'll get that important information weekly from us. So at least we can get a hold of you when we need to, and
Right.
with some of the important things that are taking place here.
And you said that was in the breeze?
I think it's in the blast.
Oh, in the blast. Okay, and that's
right.
something that comes out, what, every Friday?
Every
or-
Friday. And
Okay.
so that's Eileen, Paulin and her team
Okay.
do a great job, the marketing team,
Okay.
get that information out. And there's some really interesting articles and
Oh, yeah.
newsworthy events that are taking place just to make you aware of. There's so much going on here in the village.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I know. Always crazy.
Yeah, so with gate 3 and 7, I think I said Ernesto and his team, you got Chuck Holland doing the IT part of it. You
Right.
have Chris Spar and Resident Services running out, putting RFIDs. So it's a full-on team effort here, and our gate ambassadors are the ones who are working it day in
Right.
and day out.
Right.
So it's
All
going
right.
well.
Good,
Right.
good. Well, excellent. Anything else?
Yes, matter of fact.
Oh, you have more.
I do. I
Yes,
just
more.
one more thing from security.
Okay.
Just a reminder for our residents. Many of you or many of our residents have permanent pass holders. You get 5 of those a year.
Okay.
But if your guest decided to stay the night, you have to get an overnight parking pass.
Okay.
Our
The
night-
OPPs.
Well, check you out
Oh,
there,
yeah,
sister.
right.
Look at you. You know it. All right. So those OPPs, our night shift is issuing quite a few citations.
Okay.
So people are not getting the OPPs. And hey, it's good to know that our security officers are out and about. They're in your cul-de-sacs. They're keeping things safe. But while they're out there, watching for other things, they are looking at vehicles. And for those vehicles that don't have a decal or don't have an OPP, they're going to be getting a notice of violation.
Tell me something. I actually was talking to somebody yesterday regarding how long someone can stay overnight, if it was a relative or whatever. Go over that policy.
Right, 60 days a year. That's it.
A year?
A year.
Is
And
that like consecutive days?
no, it's 60 days total.
Oh, total.
So you
Okay.
can have a guest, family coming in, and we recognize that, and we want them to be able to come in, but it's only for 60 days.
Okay.
You get past 60 days, I don't think you're a guest. I think you're a resident.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I would call them an illegal occupant.
Oh.
And then we're going to, security and compliance will get involved at that point.
Oh,
we
I
do
see.
have some issues with illegal occupants.
Okay.
So our residents are doing their part. They're paying for their amenities.
Right.
So shouldn't everyone? And they've had to apply. They've had to meet the standard to be a resident here.
Right.
So we believe everybody should. And so
Okay.
for those who are trying to skirt the system, we're going to do our best
Right.
to hold them accountable as well.
All right. Well, thank goodness you guys are on it.
There you go.
All right.
Very
Thank
good.
you. I'm going to grab this sheet of paper and show everybody one more time that you can get this in resident services, so you can fill this out and make sure that you will be on the list every week to get more information about gates and all the activities that are going on here and safety. Thank you so much.
Very
It was
good.
nice
Thank
to see you.
You too.
And we'll be right back after this.
We're at Gate 6 to give you some very important information about the gate clearance system. During the summer, we rolled out an RFID process to tag 14,000 vehicles in the community. It's really important that if you did not get an RFID, that you go down to resident services at the community center to be able to get a RFID decal. If you do not have an RFID decal and you come to Gate 6 or Gate 5, please use the guest lane so you do not hold up traffic. For more safety information, we'll turn it over to Tim Moy.
Great, Chuck. That's a great point with the RFIDs. RFID is the key. You've got to have one. If you attempt to drive through the resident lanes without an RFID, obviously the arms are not going to open. So it's very important you go down to community services and pick one of those up. Secondly, as you're approaching, hey, this is something new to us all. We're used to driving through pretty quickly, giving the ambassadors a wave and being able to be on our way. But now with the arms, we need you to approach slowly, about a distance of 3 to 5 feet from the arm. That's going to trigger the arm to come up, and you'll be able to pass through. But one reminder, those, as you know, Chuck, those arms are going to go down pretty quickly, and so it's imperative that only one vehicle goes through at a time. Hey, safety is a key out here. Let's keep our eyes open, aware. We've got a merge between the resident lanes as well. So let's watch out for our neighbors as we're coming through and getting used to this system.
Right. We're going to be, once we turn on the gates at the big gate barrier arms at 6, we will then be turning them on at Gate 5. So it's really important to head down to community services to get your RFID. For more information, please go to www.lagunawoodsvillage.com. Our priority is your safety.
Are your hearing aids not working as well as you'd like? The person who programs your hearing aids is way more important than how much you spent on them. The good news is that we can help. I'm a retired electronics engineer who will precisely reprogram your hearing aids to your unique hearing loss. If that doesn't give you significantly better hearing, I won't charge you a dime. You have nothing to lose and better hearing to gain. So call Hearing Remedy right now and ask for your personal better hearing appointment.
David's in jail? Where?
Here in San Antonio, ma'am. I'm David's lawyer, and I'm trying to get him out of jail.
Well, what do you need me to do?
Why, $700, or better yet, send me a credit card number and I'll get him out of jail immediately.
When in doubt, hang up. Scammers will find family facts for an emotional effect.
Oh, can I talk to him?
I'm sorry, ma'am. He's in jail. If you want to get him out, you got to get me $700 immediately.
If at all in doubt, hang up. It could save you from financial ruin.
And with me is Leslie Gabola. She is, of course, the owner of Adapt to It. And today we are talking about CBD specifically from Medterra. We've had these folks on before. Yes. We've had Ben on. And you're going to tell us, because I remember when he was on, you're one of the distributors of this. And this is becoming more and more in the news.
It is.
We were just talking how on April 20th, which I guess is Cannabis Day, so to speak, that in Colorado, Carl's Jr. sold a CBD burger.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I just think that's crazy.
Yes. So let's talk about this. There's a lot of misconceptions here.
There are. Okay. So the first misconception is that it's a drug.
Yes.
And it's not. It's made from the hemp plant.
Yes.
But it doesn't contain any drugs.
Right.
It doesn't have any THC in it, which is the component that gets you the high from marijuana.
Right.
So it's completely free of that, and that's one of the reasons why we chose Medterra, because they're very pure, they're organically grown, they have a dedicated field just to them.
Yeah, in Kentucky.
In Kentucky, right? Yes. So not Colorado, but Kentucky.
But in Kentucky.
But and so it's a very high quality.
Yeah.
It has a little bit, I mean, it can be a little bit pricey, but for the benefit of it, it's very worth it. And the benefit personally, and one of the reasons why I decided to carry it, is because I think that there's been so much abuse with opioids.
Right.
And the heavy-duty pain medicines that just cause all kinds of problems, not only personally, but if you look at it as a more of a global effect, you know, it just has really bad ramifications.
Right.
And so why not offer something that is pure, natural, organic, from a plant that is just as effective as an opioid.
Right, and again, we got to emphasize is this is not marijuana. This is not. This doesn't have any hallucinogenic effects to it at all.
Right. Right.
And it's made from hemp, of course, and we all, you know, we've got a lot of things that are made from hemp.
Right. I mean, hemp is one of the oldest plants ever.
Yes, it is.
The Indians used it for all kinds of things, and now, you know, we have hemp lotions, we have hemp clothes, and it's a very versatile plant. So, but the thing I like about this too is that it is systemically taken. We have the tincture, and it comes in 3 different strengths, 500, 1,000, and 3,000. And it's taken systemically. It really can help every single system of the body.
And so this is basically a little drop or two you take in your mouth.
Yes,
right?
yes. And
Like
it's
any
a little
kind of
dropper. I mean, we can open it.
Yeah.
It's a little dropper, and it says it's usually the directions are 1 dropper full twice a day.
Okay.
And but the droppers are tiny.
How would somebody determine the strength?
Okay, what I usually say.
It's
so
kind
this
of like
is what the bottle looks like.
Yeah. So this is it's sort of like, okay, I go to the store to buy vitamin C or vitamin E or you know, vitamin C has 1,000 milligrams up to 50. You're like, what's the right one?
And so just to kind of put it in perspective, the 3,000 milligram one has 33% of the CBD oil in it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like almost like a proof, you know what I mean, with the alcohol. But how I usually say is that I kind of liken it to Advil. So if you were to take, you know, 1 Advil and it does the job, probably the 500 would be good.
Got it.
And then on up. And it seems to be pretty effective that way.
Right.
But it works very well. You can even combine it. So people that have severe pain, what we usually recommend is a cooling cream on the area topically.
Okay.
And then,
that's what this is, and this is kind of nice.
And that's the 750. It also comes in 250.
So this is, again, well, let me ask you now. I know what Ben told me. Maybe people who have chronic pain on their wrist or whatever it might be. But would this also be effective that, do you know, because I forget what he said, let's say someone goes out and just works in the yard and their shoulder hurts instead of using some other ointment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
So if you were to perhaps like have a long-standing, you know, back issue that you were taking more heavy meds for, we would recommend doing that topically and then this internally.
Because again, it's certainly more pricey than going out and buying like Bengay type of thing. So if you just like picked up something, your back hurts a little bit, you know, that's fine. But if you have something that's a little more long-standing, this would be it.
And the benefit too is that the difference between this and say Bengay is that Bengay masks it and covers it.
Right.
This cures it.
Right.
This takes it away.
Right.
I had one of my employees, Lori, and she had sciatica, and she was very faithful, and she just used the cream. And after about a month, it completely disappeared.
Wow.
And it has not come back.
Yeah.
And so and then there are different formulas too. So this is a good morning formula.
Okay.
And
is this a cream or?
No, it's pills. It's,
that's the pill. That's right.
Yeah, it's a capsule.
Okay.
And it has B vitamins in it, so it kind of gets you mellow and at the same time gets you ready for the day. Then we have a monthly wellness for women.
Okay.
And this has other herbs in it to help with, you know, monthly cycles or anything like that for women. And then this is one of the most effective sleep aids ever, in my opinion. It is the CBD plus the melatonin.
Okay.
And I usually recommend half a tab for people because it has 10 milligrams of melatonin, and the typical dose of melatonin is between 2 and 5 milligrams.
Okay, now with this, you know, people are going to ask, any of these habit forming?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
So
no, they're non-addictive, again, because it doesn't have the THC, it doesn't have any of those properties in it.
Okay.
And then the gel capsules come in different strengths.
So the gel capsule would be, instead of the pill, it's just
Yes,
easier to swallow, or whatever you like.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that one is just the straight CBD.
Okay.
It doesn't have any of the morning or the female or any of the additive formula to it.
Okay.
It's just the straight CBD
Okay.
oil.
Now, to tell you how, popular this stuff has gone, there are many different companies and all, but they have it for pets as well, especially aging pets that have joint problems and things like that. Yeah.
And I've given it actually to my dog.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I remember Ben saying you can do this. He did tell me, I don't know if you'd ever carry this, but he goes, yeah, we want to develop one specially for pets.
And they're working on it.
Yeah.
I keep asking because yes, I do
so
want
that way you don't have to break a pill and give your,
I just put a couple drops on my finger and he licks my finger.
Right.
And it works great.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's literally 2 drops and it doesn't really change him at all. It just kind of mellows him. Sometimes he gets a little wonky.
Yeah.
And it works great, especially like during
I've thought about that because we have our older dachshund, and every once in a while he'll go through a stage of like 2 weeks where he goes to bed at night, he's kind of agitated and things like that, because aging pets also get a little bit of dementia and Alzheimer's and that kind of stuff
They
too.
do. We forget about that, but I think we got to
So you
take
carry
care of
all
them,
these
too.
products?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
And of course, people can come in and find out, get more information and find out what might be right for them and get the pricing and all that. But they've changed their labels and all.
They have.
I mean, they're doing well, because I remember when he first came in, these things were kind of like just stuck on.
Yes.
So it's really great
It's neat
that
to
he's
see.
doing that.
Yeah.
And they have brochures. I think, can I have a
do.
brochure?
Yeah,
I'll take
absolutely.
one. Actually,
We
can I have
brochures.
2?
You can take as
I'll
many as
take
you
them
like.
to
We have tons.
my wife and my mother-in-law. But really, I am someone who I am certainly, because of when I grew up, I'm not on the bandwagon for cannabis and legalize all that stuff. But this stuff, I think is really great.
It has a ton of benefits to it.
All right, we'll get Ben on one time with you again.
Great.
It's hard to
I
get a
love
hold
it.
of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
a
busy.
good, good guy. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
You
My
always
pleasure.
have cool things. And Daptude, of course, is located right on the corner of El Toro, Paseo de Valencia, where the big flag is. They have great people working there that help you out. And the number one thing is they have backgrounds in this, and all the stuff they sell. They don't just sell you something. I always forget, orthopedics?
Occupational therapist.
Occupational therapist, that's right. But Steve Carpenter there and everyone else, they all have backgrounds in this kind of stuff. And that's what helps, because they can steer you in the right thing.
Thank you.
All right?
I'll try.
Yes, you do. I'll see you next time.
Okay,
Take
thank
care.
you so
We'll be
much.
right back.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
Newport Beach was the perfect setting for an international film festival.
I'm Kate Beckinsale.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Milo Ventimiglia. You're at the Newport Beach Film Festival.
You don't have to twist my arm to get me to Newport Beach. It's beautiful.
My name is Angela. I'm 51 years old and I was diagnosed with a heart murmur. Before the surgery, I was struggling to breathe. I was missing out a lot on playing with my son. I decided to go to Hoag from Nevada to have my mitral valve repair because the surgeons there are excellent.
My personal approach to patient care is really taking care of a patient as if they're a member of my family.
After the surgery, I can chase him and run around and play with him as much as he wants. It's like a miracle. It's like this patient made it through the toughest time in their life, and it's an awesome feeling.
The feeling to see these patients recover, especially when they're critically ill like that, it's just the best feeling in the world.
We wanted this to be one of the top cardiovascular centers in the region, the state, the nation, and to be recognized for that. We've achieved that.
If I had to go back and make the same choice, I would choose Hoag again. They treated me like family. This changed my life, and now I get to be with my son.
Your attention. Please take down this number. Did you know that adults with untreated hearing loss experience a 30 to 40% faster decline in cognitive abilities and are more likely to develop dementia? Those with a mild hearing loss are 3 times more likely to have a history of falling. An annual hearing screening is urgent for memory care to help prevent cognitive decline and thus delay the onset of dementia. Free hearing checkups are now being offered free of charge. If you have not had an annual hearing exam, please take advantage of this free opportunity. If hearing loss is detected, hearing aids will be available to try for 10 days. Evaluations only take 30 minutes, but you must call for an appointment. Hearing screening is urgent for memory care. Please take preventive action. Call now.
Well, coming up in the end of June, the Golden Girls Dance Troupe is going to be having their wonderful dance show. Now, they have some events coming up before then as well, but tickets are going to go on sale for that in just about a week. And today, I'd like to welcome Anna Chu of the Golden Girls Dance Troupe. Welcome. Nice to have you back again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
This is a great event that you have every year. And although it's not happening till June 29th, we want to tell folks the reason you're here today is that tickets go on sale next week.
Yes, the tickets will be starting the sale May 1st. And this show will be presented by the Golden Girl Dance Troupe and also known as American Red Lantern Dance Troupe. And this troupe was established in 2013. And it is a nonprofit organization that specializes in Chinese folk dances. We have performed about in 100 shows in Southern California in the last 5 years.
Yeah, you folks have done a lot all over.
Yeah, so we made our names out there. So,
yeah.
The troupe is constituted of a group of dancers, non-professional and professional dancers. And they are working mothers and retired mothers. So they have a variety of backgrounds.
And you bring in people from all over the area for this show, right?
We, well, the audience will be from all the people in the area, but the focus is the Laguna Woods Village.
Right,
residents. So, and this show we have been preparing for a long time, and every week we do 2 practices. And each practice we last about 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And we have been invited to the Hollywood China Night to do a drum dance. That was the opening for the ceremony right at the Oscar night.
How nice.
And it was a big success.
Yeah.
So
that is really great. And again, you know, even though this doesn't happen to the 29th of June, this always sells out. I mean, people love these performances.
Yeah.
We've got some photos we're going to show. We've got a couple pages of photos, and you're going to comment on, you know, what they're doing in these, because you have all these different kinds of dances, and they all have symbolism to them. And you know, there's several here. Of course, you got some drummers and things like that. Yes. So we're going to bring up one of those photos, and you can tell us what they're all about. Here's 2 dances, and obviously one of them is the drummers.
Yes.
And then I think the other one is raindrops.
The
Am I right?
raindrops
Yeah.
on the banana leaves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can talk about those.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, and the first of all, the drum dances. It was the dance invited to the Hollywood China Night. It was a big success, and the organizer right there said, "Oh, it's too short. Can you do that again?" Right on the spot.
Wow.
So yeah, and everybody loved it. And because of the rhythm, very strong, and it's not just doing the drum. And we do very cool dance moves to excite the audience.
Now it's all women who do this?
In this dance, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we were also invited last year to a diplomatic event between the Chinese and American governments.
Wow.
To a museum where they have an opening ceremony for a wall that is designed to educate the future generations to remember and learn about what happened in the Second World War.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to educate our youngsters to know that during that war, there are American pilots that volunteered to support the Chinese fighting against the Japanese invaders.
Now,
And,
where's this wall located?
That wall was just by the Los Angeles airport.
Okay.
There was a museum there. So that was a big success as well. So we
neat.
feel
Is
very...
the wall still there, or is it something that travels around?
The wall will be there.
Okay.
So it's an
Very
aviation kind of a museum.
Oh, very nice. And I love this because you've talked about this before when you were on.
Yes.
And is this the Thousand Hand Buddha dance?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That is a dance that was choreographed by an outstanding choreographer named Ji Gang Zhang, who has worked years to perfect the dance. And the dance was first performed by a group of deaf and mute dancers. Can you imagine how they trained years and years to perfect that dance?
Wow.
And the first performance was at the closing ceremony of 2004 Athens Paralympics.
Yeah. And this, can I ask you, this is what they're wearing, am I right? And
yes, this is the costume for the dance, and as you can see, a very expensive costume.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and this is.
Now, are these ladies that are in this? Do they live here, or are they kind of a mix of a group from outside?
Yeah, we have.
I'll hold this one up.
Our group do accept some other, from the area.
Yeah,
mostly,
look at that.
Just the urban area, and very expensive and made in China, and braided, handmade. And so we bought this from China.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Here,
and then you've got the headdress.
The headpiece.
Yeah.
You can try it on if you want.
I'll try it on. I'll put it on. There we go. How do I look?
Beautiful.
Yes. This is probably very expensive.
It is very expensive.
Yeah.
So hey,
Very
out
nice.
there, if anyone is willing to support us by doing advertisements for your business or donation.
Yeah, I got 'em.
Everything will be welcome.
Now, again, this is happening June 29th.
June 29th.
And how much are the tickets going to be?
The tickets, I think, was that.
Let's see if it's on here.
Yeah,
my
I think
sheet
15.
says,
15 and 25.
Yeah, so really, you pay a lot more for that going to see this somewhere else. And it's, how long is it, about 2 hours?
About 2 hours, and we try to make the show add a lot of variety.
Oh,
so
speaking of variety, we have one photo here
Yeah.
that you sent me today. It's of a Michael Jackson impersonator, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I mean, you look at this. I saw Michael Jackson in concert doing this. This is the Smooth Criminal piece, and the song. And it looked at first when you sent this to me, I was like, wow, that looks just like it.
Yeah, of course. He's not a golden girl, right? He's
not a golden girl.
Yeah, but we actually met him in the Hollywood China Night, January 24th.
And
and he was so real. And it's almost, feel scary. We took some pictures with him,
Yeah.
and he does very, cool dance moves.
Yeah.
So we invited him as a guest dancer for our dance.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah. And so speaking of variety, we have also invited a guest dancer who is a young ballerina, and she has won some prizes in the Grand Prix.
Wow.
Yeah, and so she will add a lot of beauty to this dance as well,
That is
besides
gonna be
our
great.
own dance.
So again,
Yeah.
let's remind people, tickets are available starting next week
Yes.
at the Performing Arts Center, May 1st, right?
May 1st.
And this sells out every year. So
They do.
definitely get tickets for $15 or $25.
Yes.
You are going to have a wonderful time. We're going to get you back here, to remind folks of this.
Yes.
And talk a little bit more about this next month, at the end of next month or beginning of June. And maybe we'll get Amy on as well. Amy couldn't
Yeah.
make it today.
Yes.
But this is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So
Appreciate
more
it.
information, of course, you can go online and look up the club, the Golden Girls Dance Troupe. That's, of course, on the club pages. You
Yes.
click on the web page, and then this poster comes up with information.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Good to see you again.
Yeah, the same.
We'll be right back.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to South County Adult Day Services. Conveniently located right here in Laguna Woods, we provide a safe, secure environment where you or your loved one can spend the day. Come socialize with friends, engage in enriching activities, receive the expert care you need, and participate in fun hobbies. Improve your mental and physical health and maintain your independence. We even take care of transportation. For a free tour, call us at 949-855-9444 or visit us at our center between El Toro and Moulton Parkway right next to the Olive Garden.
Welcome back. It is time for the Globe headlines, and we have Erica Ritchie here to tell us all about it. So what's happening this week?
Yeah. Well, good morning, Lisa. Good morning, villagers. Happy Thursday. So in recapping of our Easter holiday, we had hundreds of people that turned out to the Equestrian Center and celebrated Easter. They went on grandchildren went on pony rides. They did an Easter egg hunt, and then, of course, the favorite of all time was the meet and greet with the Easter Bunny, who did not ride in on a horse as I had once.
As we had suggested.
As we had suggested, I think it probably would have been a little frightening for the horses themselves if some big floppy white-eared thing got on top of them. So that was a great time, and we have lots of fun photos in the Globe this week for residents to check out.
Now they had little goats.
Yeah, they had goats. They had a petting zoo, which
so
was
cute.
really neat. Yeah, they had a petting zoo, and then some ducklings I think were also there.
Oh,
so
very
that was a neat opportunity. So then in other news, a little bit less light. Elevators in 3 of the 8-story Garden Villa buildings will not be running. They'll be out of service starting on Monday. And it's part of an annual overhaul of elevators. Apparently they do about 10 elevators or so a year in the different buildings. And so residents who are unable to come down the stairs or need assistance can either ask for help at security, and then residents who are more immobile can ask for a special transport to be carried down.
Oh, wow.
And that service will actually be free of charge and will help with residents who need to get to personal appointments or doctor's appointments. So that's a good thing that folks will be helped out there. Then in some other news with the Third Mutual, there's been some new amendments to the lease policy, and basically they wanted to make sure that some of the way that the leasing is going is there was some confusion on what people could and could not do with their leases, and so they've added an amendment that basically says that the leasees must be on the name of the lease, that you can't advertise for, like, you know, I have a room available kind of thing, and get somebody from outside the community. And it's also something that cannot be advertised like with any type of a corporate or corporate or business name. So those are the things that are now new agreements on the amendment that the Third Mutual approved.
Okay.
Then in our Bravo column, we have a few groups that are highlighted this week, one of which is the Guys of Leisure group of Laguna Woods, and they recently brought a bunch of pastries and bread to the firefighters here at the Orange County Fire Authority station in the village, and so that was a fun thing. And so there's some photos about them and a little bit of a write-up on them doing that. And then there was also a large fundraiser that was held at the Montage Laguna Beach for a Saddleback Memorial. About 400 people attended the black tie event, and it raised money for cancer research and some of their other programs at the hospital. So that was a really good a good thing, and good to know for residents that there are more upgrades being done and well attended at the Montage as well.
Right.
Then the City of Laguna Woods is now partnering with the Laguna Woods Village, and they're bringing some of their library programs, the public library programs, to the village. So there will be some opportunities for residents to participate in that. One of the programs is called A Taste of Nature, and there's more information about how to participate that in this week's Globe.
Okay.
And so they can look into that. Then on another fun note, so a story that we've talked about this before. We talked about the recent sighting of the olive ridley turtle. That was a rare turtle. It's normally found in the tropics and was seen off of Laguna Beach and Dana Point in March, and drew national headlines. Good Morning America, USA Today covered it because it was so unusual. Well, it turns out that maybe the turtles being around here aren't so unusual. So today at the Discovery Center in Newport Beach, if residents are interested, there's a free talk that will be held by Justin Greenman. He's the Assistant Stranding Coordinator for the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. And he will be talking about how hundreds of resident turtles now live in Southern California. And it's really interesting. So basically about a few decades ago, some turtles, green sea turtles specifically, were found in the San Diego Bay, and they were found near the warm water outfall. So basically, you know, kind of, it was warm water, so it was kind of similar for what they had down in Mexico or even further down. And so they came there and they started kind of setting up their little nests and so forth. And so now over time, as the wetland area down there in San Diego has been restored, more and more turtles have come up, and they've now moved here to Orange County at the Naval Weapons Station in Seal Beach, the wetlands area. Also, there's a big restoration project going on there, and turtles have come there, and they've also been found in the Port of Los Angeles and also along the San Gabriel River, which is really interesting, you know. So they're actually not as rare, you know, as we were talking about. The danger to it is the fact that these turtles are now, because there's so many of them around, there's the danger that they can be hit by boats and also are being caught on fishing lines. And so Justin Greenman wants to alert people as part of the talk this evening at the Discovery Center. Starts at 7 p.m., the Discovery Cube in Newport Beach. He is going to talk about what residents can do if they see a sea turtle, if a sea turtle is hooked, and basically explain kind of how the population has come here. So it'll be a really awesome opportunity for people to learn a little bit more about the wildlife here off our coastal areas.
Right. Well, good. That's great information. Thank you so much.
And then there's one other thing too. You may have heard about there's been a series of whale entanglements reported in the last 2 weeks, and so these entanglements are happening more frequently. And there was a lawsuit, I think we talked about that a few months ago, that I wrote about, where they are now restricting the fishermen in the Central California area from fishing for crab. And so, but some of these whales are getting entangled with fishing filament most likely found in Mexico. So that's something that NOAA officials are working on to try to figure out how they can work with agencies down there to try to prevent this and spread the word of keeping these dangerous things out of the oceans. So
perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. Thank you. Anything else?
Well, last lastly, in our letters, we don't want to forget the letters.
Don't forget the letters.
Yeah, there were several interesting letters, but one specifically was really interesting. It was about a resident wrote in about some ducklings that people were concerned about, and they were wandering around one of the ponds here at the village. And so they contacted Laguna Beach Animal Control, and the animal control person went out and found, and apparently sadly found the mother that had been killed by a coyote, most likely.
Oh, okay.
And so the ducklings were taken back, and in the letter the writer wrote about the ducklings going back to Laguna Beach Center, but actually it's probably the Wetlands and Wildlife Center in Huntington Beach, because there's not really a center in Laguna Beach where the ducklings would go. But that's a fun story about a happy ending and nice for the Easter holiday weekend.
Well, yeah, and she saved the babies. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
And remember, you can always get your copy of the Globe on the first floor of the Community Services Building. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Bowser-Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
Hello, welcome back. We have tickets to give away. If you email us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com, we will give you 2 free tickets to the Pet Expo.
Got him.
Okay, he's got them. And 3 free tickets to Newport Beach Boat Show, or free tickets to the Newport Beach Film Festival, all happening this weekend. So make sure you email us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com.
Yes. And by the way, the film festival goes for about a week. Am I
Yes,
right?
about a week. But
It
nonetheless,
starts this
you can
weekend.
get tickets today and tomorrow. So make sure you email us right away.
All
All right.
right.
Have a great day in the village.
Yep, we're out of time. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's who's on tomorrow right there.